Yo, what's up YouTube? Today we're going to be talking about drum gift ideas. The holiday season is upon us, or it could be a birthday, you never know. And so maybe you have a drummer in your life. Maybe it's somebody in your family, maybe it's your boyfriend, girlfriend, your spouse, son, daughter, whatever it is, good friend, somebody that's helped you out, somebody you're wanting to impress for whatever reason. Regardless, you're here because you want some gift ideas. So that's what we're gonna bring to you today. I'm gonna separate everything into 5 different budget ranges and we're gonna get started. The first one is gonna be the $25 to $50 budget range. Now, this budget range may sound cheap, but it packs a lot of power because the nice thing about it is a lot of these items get heavily used and most of the time drummers definitely need more of them. I'm talking things like sticks, dampening, things to dampen your drums, different types of sticks, not just wooden drumsticks, but different textures, and even heads, drum heads. The first thing in this budget range I wanna go over is the Promark large broomstick. Like this guy, it looks great. The nice thing about him is he gets that attack sound, but it's also quieter. It's a very, very unique sound, very unique texture, and $17.99. So if you're hitting that $25 budget range, great item to buy. After that, you're gonna be looking at doing the Vic Firth. Well, not necessarily Vic Firth, let's be real. A lot of stick companies now have a 3-pack of sticks, drumsticks, like 5A, 7A, 5B. Those are all different types and sizes of drumsticks. You can have different tips. You can have wooden tips, you can have nylon tips. I highly recommend just buying a 3-pack and then maybe doing the next gift in conjunction with that, Moongels. RTOM Moongels, or you can even get drum dots. There's several different types of little gels that you can put on top of your drums. Several different companies now. It's pretty widespread. A lot of places have them, different shapes, different colors, different sizes. You can even make your own if you want to. Lots of DIY videos on YouTube on how to do that. The next gift we're going to talk about is the BFSD donut, dampening donut. It's a big fat snare drum donut. Steve's donut, in fact. Here's why. You take your snare from sounding like this to this. Just like that. All you gotta do is put it on your drum and boop, you got it. Take it off, crack, easy. You basically come up with 2 snares from a $20 gift. Well, technically I think it's 21, but if you find a good deal on a holiday markdown, some sort of holiday sale, which they may be running here soon, which is why I want to get this video out, you probably catch these things at a pretty significantly discounted rate. So something in line with the Moongels or drumsticks, replacing those would be drum heads. Obviously, you got to have something for the stick to strike or the Moongels to sit upon. So most of the time, you're going to be buying somebody a snare head. The reason why is because the snare is going to be more widely used. It's used probably 3 to 4 times as much than the toms are going to be, or even the kick drum. That's why I'm specifically recommending the Remo controlled sound coated 14-inch head. The last thing in this budget range I'm going to talk about is going to be the Promark Cymbal Sizzlers. And this is a pretty unique, nifty little gift. It's very situational. They're not going to use it all the time, but it's basically this thing that goes on top of a cymbal and it has these metal beads that come off, and as you hit the cymbal, it sizzles. And so instead of just having the sustained wobble and wash of the cymbal, you're going to get a little bit of metal bead bouncing on there, and it's a very jazzy sound. All right, budget range number 2. We're going to be going through the $50 to $100 budget range. And my theme for this range, I'm not going to have a theme for all the ranges, but this one specifically is a silent setup. And the idea is that you will buy a practice pad, maybe a kick pad, a couple different practice pads for under $100. So the first item that I would suggest is the RTOM workout Moongel pad. That is essentially like playing with negative rebound. A lot of times if you're to play your drumstick on a concrete floor, as soon as you hit it, that stick is flying back. In this pad, as soon as you hit it, you have to work to bring the stick up for rebound. And that's beautiful because it helps strengthen your forearms, your wrist muscles, rather than relying on some sort of inflated bounce from a practice pad to make you feel better than you really are. It's $34.99. You'll probably find it somewhere on sale. Maybe not, because it's a pretty unique item. I would order it as soon as you can because it seems like the stock on these sorts of things they're not in stock very regularly. And whenever they are, it's like they have 1 left or they have 2. Or if you go on Amazon, sometimes you can see the quantity of the item for the most part, it's pretty limited. Number 2 is going to be a bass drum practice pad. This specific one I'm referencing is a Gibraltar model. I have this one myself and I love it. So that's basically gonna keep you between the $50 and $100 range if you were to buy both of them. However, if you were to buy one, I highly recommend the kick pad just because everybody has a snare pad or they have some means to practice on with their hands, a pillow in their lap, and then they could have the kick pad down low. That'd be super dope. So the next budget range we're gonna talk about is the $100 to $200 range. This is the thrill budget. This is where things kind of start to kick in, the fun stuff really starts happening. We're gonna be looking at the effects cymbals. So the one I wanna talk about is the Zildjian effects stack with the Cymbolt in it. And you have several different sizes. They look like this. You're gonna have the 8 inches all the way up to, I believe, 12 inches, maybe even a little bit bigger, depending on what you get. I have bought the 10 inch personally, and I love it. You can see it used in some of my other videos, some of my drum covers that I do. I use the heck out of that thing. Another effect cymbal that you can pair with that, if you have a little bit more money to spend, you wanna hit up to the $200 range, is you could get them the 8 or 10 inch effects stack, and then you could also get the 8 inch Trashformer cymbal from Zildjian. And that runs about $59.95 right now. As far as options outside of Zildjian, those are strictly the cymbals that I use, but Paiste is a great brand. Sabian is an amazing brand, Moongel and Istanbul. Paiste cymbals, they're very, very great for their quality. You can get some effect cymbals, some thrills like that for a pretty decent budget range within the $100 to $200 range we're talking about. Sabian's got their XSR Ozone cymbal. I've used that before, super rad. Has a different sound than the traditional crash. It's gonna make a loud splash and then get out of the way. Budget range number 4. There's a lot of flexibility in this. Basically, we're talking about anything from $200 to $500. This is a very tough range because this is gonna require a lot more research from you as a shopper, and you're gonna need to know a little bit more detail about the person that you're shopping for, the gear that they have and the gear they don't have. Maybe they want something and you're trying to be sneaky about it, so it's a total surprise. Maybe you're okay with even asking them, hey, what do you want? What do you want for Christmas? And they say, oh, I want an 18 inch K Constantinople crash cymbal, or I want a traditional EGOT Istanbul 20 inch one, and that fits within this budget range. Those are very expensive crash cymbals, but that's pretty much where I would go with this. If they have all the cymbals they could ever want, I would highly recommend adding another snare drum to their arsenal. And here's how you figure out what snare they need. Go and look at their drum kit and you see what snare material theirs is made out of. And if they have a wooden snare, well, maybe you should buy them a brass one, like a spun brass snare for $500. You can look at the Ludwig Superphonic snares. Sometimes you can find those sub $500, in between $300 to $400. You could buy a vintage one. Buying a used 1970 Superphonic snare drum is probably in most cases gonna be way better than ever buying a new Pearl snare or a new Ludwig snare, just because the age that's survived for what, it's 2020 now, so nearly 50 years, and it's been a musical instrument. It has its own journey, its own story to tell, and it still sounds amazing as long as it's been taken care of really well. The 5th and final budget range is gonna be $500 and up. This is the big mama, the big daddy budget range, and not everybody's gonna hit this, so this is just kind of out there like, hey, I wanna get just like a blowout Christmas. What is it? What can I give my drummer and the ultimate gift for Christmas? And I'll tell you, hands down, there has not been a device, microphone, interface to come along in the drumming world quite like the Yamaha EAD10. And it has a microphone that mounts on your bass drum. It basically runs a cable to the interface and it changes the sound of the drums. Basically, you plug in headphones to it and listen, and it mics up your whole kit for you. There's many great drummers using this right now as an all-in-one solution. It's absolutely insane. Check out Justin Scott's Instagram page. There are times that he has his drums mic'd up, but for the most part, he's rocking that EAD10, and the way he gets it singing is just incredible. There are other things you can buy for $500 and up. Yes, I know you can buy an entire drum set for more than that, around that price. You can find great deals on cymbals at $500. However, this video was made specifically in mind for me to tell people that if you have $500 that you're wanting to spend on your drummer for a gift, you cannot beat the EAD10. And there you go. You have a banger of a Christmas for your drummer, or birthday, or whatever holiday you're celebrating, because there are many different holidays in the world other than Christmas. I appreciate you tuning in. If you haven't already, I hate to do this, but like and subscribe down below. Share this video with your mom and dad, or whoever's buying, drum gear for you, your wife, your husband. Share this video with people, and hopefully we can all get some good gifts at Christmas. Peace out!